The power of visualization. In this video, we will be covering what is visual thinking, the tools and process behind it, the benefit it provides, and how everyone has the ability to draw and express ideas through simple drawings. So, what is visual thinking? Visual thinking is a way to organize your thoughts and improve your ability to think and communicate. Visualization is a core component of the way we communicate. It is really important for the process of design thinking because it's actually a way of unlocking a different part of our brain. It's equal parts listening, thinking, and drawing. Listening is the input, thinking is the processing, and drawing is the output. These three skills work together equally in understanding complexity, visualizing outcomes to create new possibilities. There are only 3 tools that we'll need to become great at solving problems with pictures: our eyes, our mind's eyes, and a little hand-eye coordination. These are the built-in visual thinking tools. With just these available, we've got everything we need to get started. There are also a few accessories that will help. You could grab a piece of paper or sticky note, pick some pen or pencils, or you could directly draw on a whiteboard with erasable markers, and you're good to go. If you feel like you can't draw, pick up your pen and paper and try your hand at sketching out the basics. You could start with some basic shapes, like a square, a circle, a triangle, and a rectangle. You can move to drawing some simple lines, some simple arrows, and some well-defined arrows, which usually represent direction. You can slowly move to more complex sketches like people or things. You can start with a basic stick figure. You can add a little action to it. You could try 3D objects, or even a little house. And you're on your way to becoming a better visual thinker. There are 3 kinds of visual thinkers. There's the black pen people, the yellow highlighters, and the red pen people. The black pen people are those who can't wait to start drawing, better known as the hand me the pen people. The yellow highlighters are those who are happy to add to someone else's work, better known as the I can't draw but. And the red pen people are those who question it all right up to the moment they pick up the red pen and redraw it all. Regardless of visual thinking confidence or pen color preference, everyone already has good visual thinking skills, and everybody can easily improve those skills. So, what is the process of visual thinking? First, we start with looking. Looking is all about collecting inputs and making initial rough assessments of what's out there so that we know how to respond. It's collecting and screening. Next, we move to seeing. Now that we're seeing, we're selecting which inputs are worth more detailed inspection. This is based on recognizing patterns, sometimes consciously, oftentimes not. It's selecting plus clumping. The third step is imagining. Imagining is what happens after the visuals have been collected and selected, and the time comes to start manipulating them. Imagining can be best thought out one of 2 ways. It is either the act of seeing with our eyes closed or the act of seeing something that isn't there. You can often ask questions like, where have I seen this before? Can I make any analogies out of things in the past? Are there better ways to configure the patterns I see? It's seeing what isn't there. Next is showing. We need to summarize all that we've seen, find the best framework for visually representing our ideas, nailing things down on paper, pointing out what we've imagined, and then answer our audience questions. After discussing what is visual thinking, the process behind it, now we'll be covering the benefits. For people to be able to understand you and align their ideas with yours, it's important to organize your ideas with clarity and simplicity. Visual thinking also helps us in picturing the outcome, which help us create the possibilities. A good way to do this is using the 6 W's. Every problem eventually breaks down into 6 fundamental questions. They form the basis of good storytelling. They are who, what, when, where, how, and why. First, we'll start with who and what problems, these challenges that relate to things, peoples, and rules. The how are the challenges that relate to how things influence one another. The when problems are the challenges that relate to scheduling and timing. The where problems are those that relate to direction and how things fit together. And the why problems, those that relate to seeing the big picture. What makes the 6 exceptionally powerful for visual thinking is that these questions align precisely with the way we literally see the world around us. There are different ways to represent different kinds of information. Here are a few examples. In the case of data, we could use pie charts or bar graphs. To create a journey, we could use storyboards. Or to brainstorm, we could use something like a mind map. We want to take a moment to emphasize on why it's important to rely on our built-in tools while visualizing and how they pay off. Number 1 is people like seeing other people's pictures. For example, in most presentations, audiences respond better to hand-drawn images better than to polished graphics. Number 2 is hand-sketched images are quick to create and easy to change. It's very rare that the picture we end up with is exactly what we had in mind when we began, so visual trial and error happens all the time. But the most important reason is to rely on our built-in tools because in the end, visual thinking isn't about how polished our presentations are, it's how comfortable we are in thinking with our eyes. As we're coming to an end, we would like to give you a few final tips. Number 1. Find different ways to express the same idea. Don't always assume that the first way is the best and the only way. Number 2. Keep the pencil moving. Just like writing, the best sketching occurs through a smooth flow of consciousness. Number 3. Try different mediums. If you're stumped, try switching from pencil to marker or any other medium to see if it helps restart your brainstorm. Number 4. Draw things in a way you haven't before. Look back through your sketches and see how you can find new ways to improve your drawings. Number 5. Get another set of eyes on your work. Ask people to continue development and not just critique your work. Number 6. Seek inspirations from old sources. It can be helpful to go back to rework an old drawing with a new perspective. Number 7. Draw your subject in multiple states of action. Think of your sketching as a visual story. Number 8. Think large. Focusing on a big picture enables you to consider the subject in its entirety. Number 9. Think small. Consider the smallest micro level of detail, which is always very important. And number 10. Try both abstraction and highly representational drawing styles. This will help you to consider how the realities of the physical world impact the subject in different ways. We hope this was helpful and that you were able to learn about the power of visualization, all about its tools, its process, its benefits, and its outcomes. So keep calm and keep drawing. Thank you.